let's see what today's topic is.
Okay.
Don't let Odi say. Don't let them.
I'm already okay. Why don't you cry? Are African men too tough for their own good?
I wish these men sat down there and these girls sat down here so that we can attack them.
Why? First of all, real men cry.
I agree.
Real men show their emotions. Like this masculinity, this toxic masculine energy, I don't feel that shit. No. Real men show their emotions and they're true to who they are.
I agree with Farouk 100%. Because a real man, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, will deliver to yourself whatever is the situation at the time that needs the man to deliver at the time. You know? So if you come to me on the basis of an emotional situation, somebody has died, I'm very willing to cry. You know? If you come to me, the situation, I need to change a tire, I'm very willing to be masculine.
So if somebody broke your heart, will you cry?
Well, I've cried.
I think it takes a lot of bravery to, you know, own up to your emotions and express them. So I'm gonna ask, do you mean real men cry in public? If it's public, they're not real men, they're pussy ass niggas and you need to shut the fuck up and just go and sleep somewhere in a closet with no food for 6 days. Because clearly life is not so hard, you're crying anyhow. Lagos is very hard. Who has time to be listening to somebody just sobbing every fucking day? But yeah, real men cry in private.
I will not. I don't lie.
Would you cry?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. If I have done it, I have been. My heart has been broken, and I have cried. So
for me personally, I don't have a problem with men showing emotions. I mean, I cry every weekend when Arsenal.
No, you actually cry.
And I've been crying all season.
I think the guys are talking a little bit too much, and you guys aren't affected by your own emotions. Like the women are the ones who are generally
African men too tough for their own good.
Exactly, I'm going into that.
So you're a woman.
But I'm affected by the choices that men generally.
Yeah, but don't say we're talking too much because the
question.
No, yes, you can make a point. That's fine. But the question
which is what I'm trying to do.
You could have landed in a different way.
So maybe you should just allow me to.
No, all you had to do was just landing in a different way. Don't say that we are talking too much.
No, I'm saying
all you had
that
to do
you
was
guys
come in.
are explaining too much.
We're not explaining too much.
Can you let her finish?
How about you allow us to deal with it? And that's fine. I don't mind. But if I have an issue with what she's saying, then there's an issue. There's no issue, but there's an issue.
There's no issue.
Okay.
You know, I have a problem with it. You don't have to come in. Why are you defending? Are you the defender of the universe?
I'm sorry.
No, you haven't.
What do you mean?
No,
you're
not
not speaking first.
And that's good for her.
Okay, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right? So I know everybody's saying men should be emotional.
I was actually not done talking anyway.
And
I'm so sorry, they were just screaming, but I started to just like dive in. That's what I do, you know, I take charge and I'm saying. So yeah, as I was saying.
Okay.
Guys, I think I'm going to play devil's advocate like I was saying. Like everybody's saying guys should be expressive and yeah, that's all cool, but if it's for my own personal preference, right? If you lose a family member or you lose someone close to you, understandable, yeah, you should cry, definitely. But I don't want a man that just sheds tears, like, for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, there's no onions around.
At the end of the day, you're going to create your man. Because
perhaps, honestly, because
talking about one kind of man that...
Iko, are you trying to be my man? Like, are you checking for me?
No,
allow it. This is what I want.
Not.
Kill yourself if you're
no,
not.
Why would I want to be
as I was saying...
No, I don't want to die before my time.
As I was saying, thank God you know you can't handle me.
Not that I can't handle you because... No. Don't.
There's a line between just being expressive, being yourself, just showing your emotions and being you, and just you just being a wimp. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I think there's something called man up for a reason.
That's the reason why men don't show emotions. Did you hear what she said?
You're interrupting me and that's very rude. Allow me land.
No, but I need to actually
do that often.
Yeah, because I'm the queen of it. We can go all day and I'll keep interrupting you and interrupting you because my voice is even louder.
No. That's offensive. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels the same way about some things that Coco says. I'm not trying to say Coco is not a sensible person. Of course not. Come on. If she's not, she won't even be on the show. So I respect Coco's opinion. Coco, I respect you. And I mean, we're colleagues, so I respect you. You have a right to say what you want to say or be who you want to be or think the way you want to be. But I mean, sometimes I just have my own reservations as regards the things she says. And I think I have a right to have my own reservations too as regards the things you say. Because I'm sure not everybody agrees with me every time too. So, and I think that's the extent of communication, pardon me.
Somebody told me today in the supermarket, he said, man pass man. And it's funny that we're talking about that same situation because that is what Coco is talking about. The man that passes the man is the man that is in control of himself. You know, so when situations do occur, which they are going to occur for the rest of your life, you have to be able to manage that situation and deal with it accordingly.
So at what point is it right for a man to cry? Because you seem to have an idea of when a guy has to cry and when he's not supposed to cry. So I would like you to actually let us know when it's actually right.
I'll tell you. Okay? Wonderful. So like I was saying, if you use a family member, for example, maybe if you... honestly, I don't think you should even cry if it's heartbroken.
How do you feel trying to dictate?
Why are you crying?
How do you feel that you're trying to tell somebody else how to cry and when to cry?
You're so riled up about my own opinion. Like, are you assistant Coco? You must be deputing me.
No,
there's something that like.
There's more to life than Coco, you know that.
Allow me so let me
wait. Hold on, let me say something.
Yeah.
Let me say something.
Oh my fans! I don't have fans right here.
I want to actually like say something with that because you really sound like a lot of these girls who. Or a lot of these women who are like, yeah, I'm so independent, I'm this, I'm that. But then at the end of the day, you're the one sobbing in your bathroom by yourself. No, you cannot say that like you don't want a guy who's just a little bit emotional. How is he gonna show you he cares about you? How is he going to show you that he likes you? Or how is he going to show you that he wants to like prolong things with you?
That's how you end up with thugs.
If you don't even
what you're saying is
single sense of emotion.
The only way to know that a nigga for real will show you his real emotions and that he cares is if he's crying when he's watching movies.
You're being ridiculous.
I'm talking about fickle situations. We're not watching a movie and you should be crying. It's stupid. It makes no sense.
Wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And if that's the measure for a man that shows his emotion and shows that he cares for you. I don't want it.
Wait,
okay, I don't want to win.
I
don't want a man that is crying while we're watching a movie.
People pay millions of dollars to write those scripts to bring to this country that you watch, that you thirst to go see at the movie theater. Yeah, you're saying that you like you're saying someone crying at Titanic is a wimp. Like that's ridiculous to me. Hey, it's your girl TT, aka Noir Royale, aka Creme de la Creme, and I'm on this episode of Red Hot Topics, telling you what I know and how I feel. I think she's angry. And I think maybe she's been hurt by someone and she's projecting those things on other people. An opinion is an opinion and to each his own, but I think she needs to heal herself.
I didn't say that if a man cries, he's a wimp. I said if he cries too much, he's crying any small thing, he's crying. I'm a girl, I don't cry like that. Do you understand? Like, even if it was my man, if I had a friend that used to cry just for anything, I would tell her to fuck off from around me because you're fucking up my energy.
Okay, I feel like men do need to bring their emotions out a lot more because if they don't, they keep it bottled in. And that's how you get fucking abusive husbands and abusive boyfriends. Because of this, that's how I feel. The norm, like, they're supposed to bottle their emotions. The minute it comes out, you're going to be the victim in that situation. That's how I feel. And I actually respect men who cry in front of their girlfriends because it shows that they're comfortable enough around them to cry. Look at her face. She's like, what are you talking about?
I'm being on my best behavior, guys. I'm just listening and I'm soaking it up, okay?
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Buki, go ahead.
I agree with what you're saying, right? The whole toxic masculinity, you go on social media, you hear people's opinions, and then as a man, I don't know how I'd feel if I was a man. Because as a woman, I can cry over anything. I can literally, if I want to be in love and I'm not in love, I can go and play a romantic movie and just want to cry just to feel like I'm in love. Or just cry over love that I know I can never experience. I can cry anytime and it makes me feel better. You know, but as a man, you feel like you something really pisses you off outside and you just want to cry, but you're like, everybody is there and they're going to judge you and you hold it in, and it makes you, eventually you find out that most people that are depressed, if you check out the guys that are depressed, it's because they don't know how to express their feelings. That's true. Although I know what Coco is saying, I don't want a man that would cry all the time, because even me as a woman, yes, I like to cry, but sometimes I'm tough because I'm like, you know what, this doesn't even deserve my tears, let me not even cry over it, you know. But then if I'm with a guy that doesn't cry, when he actually cries, I feel it. I once dated a guy that never used to cry. And one time we had an argument and he cried and I was like, oh my God, I messed up. I'm so, like, I felt it because this is someone that is tough or acts tough. And then he eventually cried. But I don't want someone that cries all the time. It has to be, even as women, I wouldn't like a friend that's crying all the time.
That real men do cry because when a man is emotionally in tune with himself, he opens up a part of himself that people say he shouldn't. So if a guy tells you how he feels or he's open with you, then it makes the world a better place, because it just makes everything better that you have the opportunity to know how someone feels.
I've had fights with my exes in the past that are like, no, it's fine, babe, I'm good. Because men feel, and I think that's toxic masculinity, men feel like anything that happens, they should have control over it. That's all well and good, but don't let it, if someone is close to your personal space, it's not bad to share what you're going through. A problem shared is a problem house solved.
I agree with your point and her point, but like, it really just depends. I'm in the middle. Because if someone cries a lot, like if a guy cries all the time, or even just a little bit, that doesn't necessarily mean it's sincere. Like, some people are narcissistic, they can be fake, they can just be stringing you along. And some guys who are actually crying all the time, they can be a serial killer. So it doesn't really matter. My thing is, like, in our society in Nigeria, men are typically conditioned to, like, you get up, you go to work, you bring money, you come home, and your wife prepares food for you, and that's it. There's not necessarily time in the Nigerian household to say, this is the time that you're going to talk about how your day was, or explain to your wife that you need help, or even try to like tell your children how much you love them. Like, in terms of emotions in a Nigerian and even further an African family, we don't necessarily have that, which is why a lot of children and youth are going through a lot of things and their parents don't know, because we don't have that side. Our parents are not necessarily emotional, and when they are, it's typically the mom. It's not like your dad telling you, oh, you failed a test or something, why did you fail your test? It's like rod and whatever and stuff like that. So I feel like, yeah, like Nigerian men aren't emotional because they're conditioned to be the way that they are because of the pressures.
I have a lot of friends that I feel like they're fronters. They always want to play the hard guy. I'm like, dude, chill. It's not that deep.
Well, I think she is kind of right. Yeah, she is kind of right, because, I mean, I have to admit, the way they raised us, our society, Africans in general, it's kind of a toxic way that they raised us. You know, you're not meant to show emotion as a man. You're supposed to be hard. So I get, yeah, it definitely has taken its toll on Nigerian men. So most of them don't even want to express emotion at all. And at the end of the day, like, I think it's all about balance. I'm not saying I don't want, like, people shouldn't be expressing their emotions. You should. But I think you should balance it. Nobody wants someone that just cries when a dog sneezes. You know what I'm saying?
So, for example, I have friends who are, sorry, let me just quickly say this, because it's
no, go ahead.
what you
do
said.
Whatever you want to
do.
do.
I feel like as a man, it depends on how you, well, it depends who they're talking to. As a woman, and how I make them comfortable enough. Yeah. Because I have friends who are comfortable to tell me how their day went. I've been in relationships whereby I'm like, I actually want you to talk. It's a problem if you can't tell me how you feel. It's a problem if you can't share your. I want to know what's going on inside. If we're driving and then your head is just blank, I'm like, what are you thinking about? I want to know. So eventually, if we're doing this every day or a lot of times, you feel comfortable enough to tell me how you feel. You feel comfortable enough to show your emotions, to cry if you have to cry, to lash out if you have to lash out. But then it depends on who they're talking to and how comfortable they are with the person they're talking to.
So, you know those videos that we all see like online of like a guy, a bride and a groom walking down the aisle and stuff like that?
I'm listening. I'm listening to you.
Okay, walking down the aisle and like the bride is coming and the groom is crying. Like, you wouldn't want your future husband to feel deep down inside that, wow, I love this girl so much. She's about to be my wife, the mother of my children, my everything. You would want your man to walk down the aisle like stone-faced and like, yeah, I'm gonna marry you.
Okay, really? So first of all, I'm going to like say like three different things, like 3 different points, right? Okay. First of all, I don't want to marry anyone. Okay.
She made that point clear.
So yeah, but
I actually thought she was joking when she said that
so the thing about crying for men. So first of all, it takes real emotion, like real balls, like guts, to show emotion, whatever kind of emotion it is. I mean, obviously negative emotion is bad, but yeah, it takes real like guts to cry for a man to cry. Now, my thing is, as a woman, I have preferences sexually for relationships. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to come and say, oh, because this is a good man, so one fat rolling pin should just come and be my husband just because he's good. No, do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying it is good for guys to show their emotions. If you want to cry, you feel like that's what you need to do, wonderful. However, the person that is going to be my man, I don't want you crying out in public. Like, who is the man? Who is the woman? I'm a babe.
She has a point.
Let me land. Can I finish, guys? I'm not going to fight. I'm going back and forth. My voice is going, and it's $1 million voice. So, as I was saying, you're my man. Do you understand? This is what attracts me, right? Now, if you're somebody that obviously that doesn't cry so much, you're not so out there. I mean, show your emotions, be playful. I've seen people that don't cry often, but they tell you, hey, baby, I love you so much. I want to be around you. They're very expressive. They're not closed off. They're not toxic. However, they're not crying at every small thing. You see a cat, oh my God, this cat is so cute. Like, come on. So that's just my thing, because it's good to show emotion. You can cry. But my own is when it's crying too much. Is there like a line? So let me finish, please, Ikori.
Okay.
Thank you.
I thought you were done.
Is there a line? Is there a situation where it becomes too much, like this guy is crying too much? And maybe that's what I'm saying. And I feel like if I just see you cry here, or if you lost your friend, okay, understandable, you cried. Maybe you thought that I was cheating on you or something, you cried. You know, another time I've seen you, you've cried.
You don't take this
it's
seriously.
like, what the fuck is wrong with you and your eyes, nigga? Did you have a dysfunctional tear duct?
I'm trying not to say anything offensive, or she'll take the wrong way. Coco's a brilliant girl, but I feel like the way she thinks sometimes is extremely immature. To me personally, I think her mentality is immature. I can't deal with it, but I do love her.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand Coco. I try not to misinterpret her, but I mean, everybody has a right to express themselves in the way they see best, and everybody has a right to want what they want. So if she wants a man that doesn't cry at all, that's fine. Do you, Coco? But me personally, I don't think anybody should box anybody in. You cannot tell me how to express myself.
What is going on? Why are you crying so much? Are you an actor? Are you a con man? What's that? Like, how does it just come on cue? Are you an actor? What's that? So that's just my thing. So it's either it might be a little bit false for me. There's nothing attractive about it. I'm not gonna lie. For me and my vagina, I don't know about anyone else.
Some men are just naturally emotional.
Yeah, they can be emotional. Far away from me. Do you understand? They can't be my man. They won't be my boyfriend.
So first of all, I need us to understand that, you know, the fact that you don't cry doesn't mean you're not an expressive person. And it doesn't mean you're also not emotional.
Exactly.
It only means you have control over how you express your feelings.
Exactly.
So, and I also want us to understand that the fact that a man cries sometimes or anytime decides to show his emotions to the fullest doesn't mean he's a wimp. And the fact that most people generally, especially some women, I would like to say, that have that idea that if you're a man that you express yourself in that manner, you're able to like shed tears, makes you a wimp. That is one of the reasons why most men would rather just, hold back, bad guy, hard guy. Do you understand? But for me, as a person, I think it is important to be expressive, regardless of who you are, a man, a woman. And unfortunately, our society has made it, there's an expectation for you as a man. You have to be the bad guy. You
have to be the man.
You have to be the man. Yeah, exactly. No bad day. Either it's going well, it's not going well. You just have to, show up and just be up. And which I think is unfair, because it now makes it seem like as a man, if you're expressive, you're not up to par. You're doing below. Exactly, and it's unfortunate. I think it's really sad.
Can I say something?
I'm gonna say something.
Sorry, Farouk. You will say something.
Sorry. I haven't spoken in a while.
Okay.
No, I have a problem. I have a problem with that when you said who's the man, who's the woman. I hate these gender stereotypes.
True.
I hate it.
Yeah, but there won't be stereotypes if they didn't really exist. Sometimes.
So at the end of the day, that means we can't have gender equality,
Let's hear from Farouk, man. Let us hear from Farouk.
I'm just saying.
You're
I feel like he
so
wants to
much
drop
pressure
a
on that guy. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
He should be able to express himself. He's trying to be real with you.
I replied to what you're saying.
He's showing emotions. He's trying to be real with you, and you're trying to block that. And you're like, oh, don't show your emotions in front of me. Don't cry in front of me. I'm like, what the heck? What are you talking about?
But can I ask you a question?
No,
wait,
let me just
you have been talking too much. Who is they?
Let me reply, Farouk.
Wait, I know, I will allow you, but who is they?
Please be more polite.
I'm sorry, baby. You know I love you very much.
Good.
You're my
wonderful.
My everything.
Carry on.
All of a sudden.
Everything. So,
Scam.
Farouk and Coco.
Scam.
Who is they? This is my own issue with the whole
thing.
They
is the society.
Now, exactly. That is you guys' problem that I don't have. Is that you consider...
And this is what I'm actually going to talk about.
I'm going to yarn it on this whole thing. So you people all know that I don't read your damn comments. There's no opinion that is important to me apart from that of the people that I truly care about. And even at that, their opinion is not even that important. So that's where I leave it.
If I have an argument with someone or like someone I'm in a relationship with, I might just cry. I'm a hypersensitive human being. And sometimes I like crying. Why? Because my personality gives me the opportunity to go into my cerebral and like overthink or analyze something, and when I cry I feel better.
Can I ask you a question?
That's me personal, and I don't have any sort of mental illnesses or anything. I actually have a psychology degree, and a lot of people who have mental issues are people who cannot actually take themselves out of their own perspective to think of another vantage point. So when you say like someone should cry alone or something, those are essentially the people who are committing suicide. Those are essentially the people who feel like they're alone.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you can talk about your problems without crying. Is it like crying?
You can't say that. No, honestly, you can't.
Projecting
you can't say that.
Your own feelings and emotions on other people.
You have an expectation, obviously.
Hold on a second. If you're going to dig deeper into this thing, it shows that you actually have some sort of issue.
I don't have any issues. We're not talking about anybody's issues, because I can pick issues too. I'm very observant.
Someone is,
I'm very observant.
Doesn't have anything.
Yeah, you can't be telling me I have issues.
No,
everybody has issues.
I don't.
We all have
yes,
issues.
I don't. I'm saying
Coco
when someone has some sort of
please.
emotional blockage, it's because of something. You don't wake up and say like, I don't want a guy that doesn't cry. I don't want a guy that doesn't do this. I don't want a guy that
tears.
Something must
energy.
Trigger like it's just me, but tears like crying every time. So you will be okay if like in a whole week your boyfriend cried like 4 times a week. At least you knew you could bank on. Let me land. Sorry, you could bank on me. I'm picking boyfriend.
People cry at work
because that is the only place where I can have some sort of authority over another person. Do you understand? Wow. Not authority. You're not.
No, I wanted to get your point.
They have a say on things that because people are involved sexually, physically, romantically.
Some people cry when they have sex.
Yeah, but it's like, aren't you having sex?
Some people cry when they have sex.
Yeah, but my point is
equating like
if you're in a relationship if you're in a relationship,
people cry in traffic.
What is the difference between a friendship and a relationship? What is the difference between a friendship and a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship? Is it not sex? Why are you guys talking like this? Like,
people have sex with their friends. So it really doesn't matter.
So if you're having sex with your friend, that's a friendship, really. That's your friend.
But then, whatever you want to do,
that's not your friend. What are you saying?
Whatever you want to
do. So if you're having sex with somebody, that's your friend.
Whatever you want to call it.
How would you sleep with somebody that is not your friend?
Some people are not in relationships and they're having numerous affairs with themselves and other people. That is just a fact. Whether you're in a relationship or a friendship or friends with benefits or polyamorous relationship, situationship, whatever. People sleep with. Yeah, and some people don't want to sleep with anyone.
Get here. I'm sorry.
If I'm in a relationship with someone and I'm friends with someone, what I would say is the difference is the intimacy. I think that when I'm intimate with someone sexually, it has differentiated you from being my friend. And for me, let me speak about myself. If I'm sexually intimate with you, I'm more open to you than my friend, because I feel like you've seen me in all of my goodness and all of my glory and all of my bad times. So I can tell you every single thing there is to know, although there's a difference between a one-night stand and a friend with benefits. But a friend with benefits is still a friend. Everything is a relationship, but friends with benefits ship, relationship, intimationship.
You were saying something about friends with benefit, yada, yada, yada. That makes sense. You can be sleeping with somebody, but I don't think that is a friendship. Do you understand? I think a friendship is between two people. There's no sexual, physical, nothing. You're friends, platonic friendship. That's what I think a friendship is. A relationship, the difference between a sexual, like a relationship between a man and a woman as boyfriend and girlfriend, would be the presence of sex. Like, I don't mean to trivialize it and just like make it seem like, oh, just sex. But I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. What am I doing with my friend? We're sitting down and talking. What am I doing with my boyfriend? Sitting down and talking, sometimes fucking. So, yeah, I think anyone that went to school will know the difference.
I don't know. Let me now say what I got from Odera's points, right?
Let her say what she got. Sorry,
what I got was that you don't have to care about what people think. If you want to cry outside, cry outside. Don't care about other people's opinion, because then that means you're really self-conscious. If you want to cry, people don't want to see me, then it's a personal problem that you need to deal with. And secondly, I was going to ask you, like, just out of curiosity, you said that you're hypersensitive, right? You cry over anything.
Not anything, but
you cry a lot.
I'm triggered by a lot of things.
Would you say you have control over your emotions, or your emotions have control over you?
To a fault, I do have some. I have enough control over my emotions.
So is it possible for something to happen? Is it possible for something to happen and you're like, sure? Is it possible for something to happen and you're like, you know what, this thing just happened, I'm not gonna cry? Now the reason why I'm asking this, because on this Red Hot Topics show, there's been a lot of sensitive times here, and then I can bet I've not seen any of the men cry, and even if they want to cry, like Odera or Farouk or my boy here, they will not cry. They wouldn't cry. They will control themselves, and that doesn't mean that they're weak or they're too strong or they're forming men. But it's just like, you know what, this is not the right place.
Some people composure. You can't go about crying left, right, center.
I want you to know that.
Bring out buckets. Should we follow you with buckets? Oh, sorry. Are you crying now?
Coco, I want you to understand that there is no sensible person. No sensible person that would want to be crying all day, every day.
Exactly.
You don't. It's not as if you are creaming with onions that something. The thing will be provoking you.
Perhaps it's onion deodorant.
You just one small thing, cry. I mean, there's no sensible person that will cream with onions now. But when Coco was going on and on about how somebody is crying, and we all know onion makes you cry. So I was, boy, I want to continue onion para or something like please, explain to me how, because why will you be crying morning, afternoon, night? Maybe you bait with onion. Do you bait with onion? Please don't bait with onion. It's gonna make you cry. Maybe that's what is making the people that are toasting Coco cry.
That actually took me like 3 seconds to understand. Cause like, wait, what? Oh, so you cry all the time.
Yeah, there are times when there are situations that you cannot control. You know, it's not every time that you actually have control. It's not every time. Everybody aspires to get to the point where you can actually be able to handle everything.
Okay,
do you understand? But then there are times when we can't actually control the situation, and then you just bust. And especially for people that actually hold it in. I might beat you guys. Yes. Like for people that actually hold it, especially the guys. Like for example.
Yeah, with us.
We're with you.
Oh, now you know how I feel.
Okay, so what I think is...
Nobody's going to answer. No. We have to continue the conversation.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I was saying, so what do you do in that kind of... You can't judge a man for expressing himself in that point. So there are times when you can't actually handle the situations. And then you just let loose.
Can I ask something?
Cry will even make you better.
I'm assuming that this crying that we're talking about is not tears of joy. It's sadness.
That's true. There's tears of joy.
Exactly. So what I'm saying now is, like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate, right? So crying is sadness. Sadness is negative emotion. Who the hell wants negative energy around them?
You know,
let's talk about the tears of joy. Let's talk about
tears. As a friend.
Let Farouk make a point.
I will let you that. Let me just finish this thing. Okay. I'm saying, right? I'm not even saying boyfriend now. We've dropped that one. As a sister, brother, as your sister, if I had a brother, or my friend that is a guy, do you understand? And we hang out. Maybe we go to class, we're in school, we go to class together. So I spend a lot of time with you. And then any small thing, you are crying. I mean, kudos. You are a bold man. You are owning your emotion and expressing it. That is really good. But however, I don't want tears around me. It fucks up my own energy too. Do you understand? Because obviously I can't see you crying and ignore it. I have to ask you, what's wrong now? You will not first tell me, no, nothing. I'll not ask you, please. Like, nobody has time for that. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's exhausting. If you want to cry, go home and cry. Don't fuck up anybody else's energy. Except you're sure that this person wants to listen to you and your tears.
Farouk.
I had to beg Farouk to let me say something based off of what you're saying. Did you guys watch Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
You also fraud.
Fraud is a fraud. Fraud is a fraud.
But that's the thing. Like people stopped taking him seriously because he was crying every
Yeah.
time. He didn't have much follow up emotion.
I agree on that one.
Is that the guy that washed the underwear?
Yeah.
He said he didn't. Allegedly.
Okay,
But you guys are coming from the mentality that being vulnerable is a weakness. Do you know how much strength there is?
No, I don't think that's what we're saying.
You know, it's subjective,
That's what we're
right?
saying.
The bravery.
I think being vulnerable is a strength because it takes a lot for someone's emotional quota to be up to par, because we're in a society right now where being emotional and expressing yourself is not necessarily cool unless you're a musician or you're weird or whatever. So for someone to be vulnerable and be able to express themselves, I think it's a power and a strength.
I don't think being vulnerable is a weakness. I think being vulnerable is being vulnerable. Who tags it being weak or being strong? It's just you being. I even think that's even you having control over your emotions, because you know when you can be vulnerable and you know when to hold it. You know how to handle it. Everybody should be allowed to be vulnerable. Just know how to handle it or how to control it.
A lot of us are very selfish.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. People that cry a lot are selfish.
The real reason about the world is that the real way that we should live is that we shouldn't be selfish. We should try, I think, that we should try to make everybody be comfortable in this life at every given situation. So when a particular situation is happening, if nobody has died, I don't believe that you should cry and be acting as if somebody has died. Okay. If you must cry about a certain situation, the emotions come for different reasons. My girlfriend breaking up with me personally, I'm that kind of guy. I can cry.
Has compelled you to
but
cry.
I will manage the situation with you guys because I've already proven bad guy.
That's like in
I've proven bad guy.
That's in a perfect world to say that, like, you know, you're emotional and you can take yourself out of that situation.
You can control
and
your
go
emotions,
and
basically.
be emotional by yourself. Because right now in this society, things are extremely difficult for people. There's so much anxiety and there's so much frustrations. Like me, coming from America, I have cried over a number of times if I turn on my faucet and there's no water.
Okay,
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, but that means you're going to cry about every single thing.
So going back to the initial question in terms of if crying is too much or whatever, I think it's safe to say that the reason why a lot of people feel like, okay, you shouldn't be crying as much is because of how society kind of like brainwash you guys to feel. And if you don't want someone who cries a lot, what do you want exactly? Because from my understanding, like you said with anger, if a guy is emotionless, he's more expressive with anger.
I don't want
So
to.
do you cry? Do you cry when Nepal takes
I
life?
don't agree because
Do
anger is an
you
emotion.
cry when Nepal takes
but
life?
I'm saying, like,
so he
in
cannot for him
terms
to
of-
express anger. He
in
cannot
Kitty,
be
I'm
jealous.
sorry, but
When
no
Nepal takes life, do
offense,
you cry?
But if I was your friend, you
Yeah.
live in the same house and there's no water and you start crying, I will never take you seriously.
Well,
if I see
I'm
you
not
crying
used
like
to
that.
that.
No, but
And
you don't
you
get
don't
to
take
cry,
me-
but you can be-
you don't take me serious for
If
something.
I
Wait,
fuck around
excuse
and
me.
take your soap,
Excuse me, wait, let me say something. So you wouldn't take me serious because you're used to something that
Exactly.
I'm not? Then you're
No,
completely,
no.
wait. You're completely desensitized to like the everyday world. We are not from the same place. So that's like me saying, oh, like, you go to a particular church where they don't wear slippers. I don't take you serious because they don't wear
Exactly.
shoes.
It's
No.
not the
Let me
it is.
I love everybody on set, so no disrespect to people, but I feel like people are very close-minded and they're shit, dare I say. I feel like people sound stupid most of the times. They're gonna hate me for saying this, but that's how I feel. Like, real men fucking cry. I don't like the fact that, oh, because you're a man, you shouldn't show your emotions, or you have to be this hard guy. Like, you're a fronter. If that's your mentality, you're a fucking fronter.
I don't even think it should be a men's thing, a men thing. I think it should be a general thing. I think that men, women, if you want to express your emotions. Don't concern yourself about what everybody thinks. If you want to cry in public, don't start concerning yourself as if I cry now, people will think me weak. If you want to do you, just go ahead and do you. Although personally, I think everybody should have control over their emotions and don't allow your emotions have control over you. So once in a while, hold yourself.
So I basically didn't really get to say much of anything, but I still believe that men deserve the opportunity to express how they feel and come to terms with how they feel. It's a harsh world, and men need love too.